then the light comes in. Hey everyone, my name is Owen Fox. Welcome to this beautiful video, your beautiful good self on this lovely gorgeous day. I hope you are all really well visiting my little channel here for the first time or reoccurring time. I didn't really know what to make a video on, but I guess I'll just update a little quick video on how the last video that I made, I think that was like a fresh video, that wasn't the release that I made a month ago. I just talked about how my mum passed on and how I was processing it. It was like a 40-minute video, approximately 40 and 14 seconds or something like that. And in this video I thought I'd give an update, because in that video I did say how my mum passed on approximately on the 13th to the 10th, so that was around 3 weeks ago or more. And actually she passed on 7 years after my dad, less 7 days, and she passed on when she was 71. And my birthday was the 7th of the 1st, and my first daughter's birthday was 2017, and she was due on the 1st of the 7th, 1st of July. My mum passed on the 13th to the 10th, which happens to be my two stepchildren. Like I'm daddying them happily, two children, my partner, and my own daughter. They all happen to be share the same numbers, 0, 1s and 3s in their birthdays. So totally massive divine synchronistic there, you know. So yeah, you may see in your life that life is spiritual first and foremost, and second of all it's physical, and the spirit and the energy influences the physical ginormously. And even coming here as a human, this is our avatars. This is just a visitation on with our bodysuit, but we are the spirit, the life, the consciousness that lives before and after this bodily adventure on Earth or on another planet or another physical place. So we are here to express ultimately our spirit through and in this physical form, which is unconditional love of a very high vibration that feels very expansive and heart-centered, and very peaceful, loving and caring and centered and grounded. So sometimes, well, it doesn't only have to be sometimes, we can have these peak experiences where we feel very expanded and high vibrational. Not that you can say I feel high vibrational, but we can feel the feeling of expansiveness, of sort of almost like unlimitation, like limitless, just feeling beautiful and amazing, you know, gorgeous, happy, loving, peaceful. But we can also practice and learn through inner work and spirituality to get this feeling much more often and live in a state much more like this consistently. And that's what I'm working on, and that's what I've made a lot of progress with, and that's what I also try and help teach people how to do, to live in a heart-centered place and living in the moment too. And for me, I used to think living in the moment, which I learned from Eckhart Tolle, kind of focused a little bit more along the lines of like, pay attention to the present moment, you know, be aware, be alert, be awake, be here and now, like Ram Dass, be here, be now. But in more recent times, since my mum's passing, I realized that, and I learned this from Abraham, that spirit and we as consciousness outside in the non-physical world, which someone could call heaven or that type of stuff, we're more interested not on dwelling in the past or thinking about the future, but we're more interested in like living in the now and joy and pure deep expansive heartfelt deep love, but also joy and excitement and fun and bliss and exhilaration and like just exuding life and milking the most out of life and feeling like so happy and so like awesome. And that's not about paying attention to the details of the moment, but it's about following your bliss and like your highest excitement, and like following what's like living from the place where you're not like held back and held down by stuff like fears and like unprocessed emotions and a whole lot of baggage, and you're living in this like free, elevated state. And so being in the moment is all about like feeling awesome and amazing, because you're following the impulses or the inspirations right now, very much similar to a child So it's about being a creative being and following and doing something that's like creative. Just something that's fun, very happy, and feels really good to do. And like, also, what I also am learning is that feeling is a very powerful state of being instead of thinking. So I would recommend to think less and feel more. And then also it means feel our emotions, but just to also just be a feeling and emotional being, you know. So like, what feels good to you? Know what feels good to you. Don't be trying to like spiritually bypass with certain ideas or beliefs, like to suppress your emotions, and not to be trying to like have like typical like coping mechanisms and habits which suppress and bury under the carpet like our emotions. Stuff like eating habits, drinking, watching, listening, and doing things like overworking, like masturbating, sex, like reading, listening to something. There's many forms in which we can distract ourselves from our emotions, but when we become comfortable fully and become a full feeler, not only will we know if someone is telling us the truth or lying, because we can feel the authenticity and the genuinity of it all, or the sort of the fakeness or the deceitfulness, or maybe they're so enthusiastic because they've listened to someone else's conviction and really good idea that's like very exciting and like very sort of, it sounds really good mentally, but does it feel good? Does it follow the heart? Does it feel good integrally? Does it feel good? Is it sincere? Is it genuine? Is it deep? Is it meaningful? Is it authentic? Or is it just like a cool catchphrase, very convincing mental ploy, idea, and argument? So feeling is powerful. And another thing, we can feel bliss and live in the moment, living in our like from our spirit, in our spirit, in the physical body, or in the non-physical if we passed on, because passed on beings are like pure, elevated, joyful, free, expanded beings of love, light, and light, like incredible. I felt my mum the other day in the bathroom. I was like, wow, she's just the word that came to was she's so expanded. We also had 2 medium calls about her, from her, with her, one on the hour of her passing, which is still alive, but she's still in this, actually in spirit world more. But she's still in the physical body, knowing me, and the medium was there on the call at her bed when she, just before passing, you know. The great transition. I prefer not to call it just like death or like they died, like, but they made this incredible journey back to her true self, her spirit. Let go of all the baggage and earthliness, the bodiliness, the heaviness, the emotional heaviness or physical heaviness, any pain, discomfort or suffering. We can practice to do this while still in the body, my friends. That's my mission and journey. That's what I want to teach to the world. And that's why I'm making this video partially. But just to make that journey home is just beautiful. But the reason why I mourn and other people grieve is, one, we can have regrets, we can have guilt, and for like not seeing them enough, not doing enough, not saving them enough, not helping them enough, just maybe hurting them and upsetting them when they were in the body. And obviously it's a very self-orientated, like selfish type of thing. Not a judgment and not a bad way, but it's sort of about us an awful lot. Instead of celebrating and appreciating and loving and being happy for their exhilarating journey moving forward, which is what about spirit is all about. In the moment, moving forward, it's not about I'm obsessed with the future and I have to get this. It's not about, oh no, the past, or look at the past, let's dwell on the past. It's about in the moment, exhilarating future going forward right now. The focus is the now, it's going forward. It's not about like I'm thinking. It's feeling in the now, going forward with exhilaration, bliss, joy, and happiness, and peace, and excitement, and a buzz, and whoa, the buzz of aliveness and trueness, living authentically to ourselves and living from our heart. I don't mean like an exhilarated on drugs buzz, not in the slightest bit. And then the other medium also said Mum was like so joyful, like she just loved it, so beaming, she's glowing up there, and she's just, that was the second one like 2 days ago, like just so happy and so proud of me. She said she's so proud of me there, and she said she's so proud of me on her passing on special bed of transition too, when she's like about to pass on, you know, special. It's a special journey back home. So yeah, some of us can be mourning, and I did it too. Like I was angry that my mum passed on. I wanted to spend more time with her. I wanted to experience this with her more. I loved having her there. She helped comfort me and give me safety and security. But so that's like, you know, self-ish. It's about me. But if we try and make it all about them too soon, that's called spiritual bypassing. When we're not feeling our feelings, we're trying to avoid our feelings, and we're suppressing ourselves, trying to get away from feeling sad or angry or fearful when somebody passes on. But for me, I just gradually processed and my feelings. So the day after the funeral, because I was feeling not overly bad in my last 40-minute video, but it was actually then the day after the funeral, that's when it hit me, because it all slowed down. It wasn't hectic and I wasn't busy, and it hit me and I started like feeling sad, angry, down, and yeah, I definitely, and physically quite tired as well. I was doing quite a fair bit of crying, and I was like, Mom, or like, why, or that type of stuff, you know. But I think that lasted for about close to a week and a half maybe, and then in close to a week ago now, more or less, I just suddenly lifted one morning and I felt like so much better, because I allowed myself to fully process and express myself with posts on Facebook, or just talking and just thinking and feeling my own feelings and being with myself. So I didn't make the journey or the transition for me back to my more ordinary or usual or even higher self. I didn't make it longer than it needed to be by getting in my own way through suppressing my own feelings. But I definitely was mental, and I went through I went through the grieving process, and I'm still grieving, but to a much lesser degree. I'm much more thinking of my mum and happy for her, and I just have deeper understanding and recognition and acknowledgement of her life, and appreciating and celebrating her, you know. I feel like mediums can help for sure, and also there's like stuff like angel cards or various other cards like Celtic cards or mermaid cards or fairy cards possibly that my beloved life partner has. So that's another way of communicating with spirit too. I do definitely believe in all that sort of stuff for sure, undoubtedly. I didn't kind of before. I was like wondering how does it happen, but now I understand miracles happen, and like mathematical improbabilities and synchronicities happen like all the time. Like life is magic and a mystery, and things happen in divine plan and purpose. So because I know my mom passed on at the exact same, the perfect time for her, it gives me extra help in a feeling of sort of closure / moving forward / not holding on to something really heavy, and just knowing and believing and trusting it was the perfect time for her, truly, from her soul perspective. And we have a blueprint and a soul's plan and mission and time for all of us coming here to Earth and leaving Earth, leaving our bodies too, vacating our spiritual vessel body. So yeah, no, I'm still still a little bit emotional sometimes, like teared up a bit today and yesterday, but it's not like a deep hectic sobbing. Like that was more like some people experience dramatic heavy deep grief and like loud bursting out crying and sobbing and breaking down, which I didn't. But I definitely had the whole mental thing going on in my mind, which is normal, and I'm glad I did, and it's perfectly natural and normal. I was trying to make sense of it all and process it all and grieve, and it's totally 100% natural and normal. I'm glad, and that was part of the journey for me to grieve. And I cried during driving, when I wasn't too busy with my kids and that type of stuff, and just being super busy, you know, because driving and nighttime after everyone went to sleep was times I'd grieve the most. But then little bits and bobs in between, like the memories of my mom, etc. But I just feel now like, and I just totally believe, I know she's still there. Like she's just not in the physical body. So you're not in a different place, you're just in a different frequency, a different like radio station. That's all the non-physical is. It's not like separate to the physical necessarily. It's not a different place, so to speak. It's just all vibrational and vibrational and frequency. So yeah, that's what heaven is, or you know, that type of stuff. Heaven, afterlife, the spirit world, or the non-physical. I like the non-physical the most. So just free consciousness there. It's like living really amazing life. So that's comforting. And yeah, I've seen like tons of synchronicities and signs, and my mum's still here, and I felt her a good few times, and I felt very, very happy. And the last time, the most pronounced time, was she just felt so amazingly like free, high, sort of elevated, like blissful and expansive is the words. I just felt her like she's huge, like her aura, her energy field, her true self is like a beaming, glowing, colossal, expansive being. You know, that's what we all are at heart. And it's great to be emerging with that. You know, we don't have to keep sobbing for our loss, like about me. Sometimes you have to just, you know, there's a divine plan, and we're all going to die, like we're all going to pass on, and it's a beautiful transition. We don't need to be so I don't recommend any spiritual bypassing. Like, just go with the process of where you are and grieve in the way it's meant to be for you. But we don't have to stay there forever, is what I'm really saying. And through learning more and having a deeper understanding and perspective, we can shift into gradual feeling more about them too, largely mostly about them, or giant them, where we're just happy for them and like, how are they doing? How are you doing? You're feeling amazing, cool, I'm happy for you, like, well done, like, thanks for all the love you gave me when you're here in the physical, and I always remember you and love you in my heart, and things will remind me of you, and I might feel sad or emotional or cry sometimes, and that's great, it's normal, it's okay. And it might go down over time, or it might reduce a lot over time, or it might go up sometimes. Just the grieving process is very, very, very different for everybody, because all at different stages of expansiveness ourselves. So yeah, that's all I really want to say. Better go. Loads of love, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's helped you if you're mourning or grieving losing anybody in your life, even a pet. Same story really with pets too. But yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your life, and life's a gift. And keep living with the exhilaration, like living in the now, going forward. We're focusing on the now and living your life, and knowing your loved ones in spirit are like that, and they're with you, looking down on you, looking with you, looking side by side with you, and they're there and they're not far away, and you can talk to them anytime you want, truly. And listen to those certain feelings and thoughts, and be in your heart and be in your feelings, and be less in your head. And if you live more in your heart and your feelings and less in your head, it'll really transform your relationships instantaneously. And love is the answer, my friends. That's what I'll say. When I live in my feelings now, and I'm transitioning to this higher frequency, because after my mum's incredible transition, which has been very upsetting for all the family, by the way, I'm not trying to say otherwise, like, everyone's grieving and mourning in a different way. And it was very, very, very difficult for me for quite a while, just in the process, just before she made her great transition, because it was very busy, like just the whole end of the physical part of it, a few weeks to a month worth of just trying and learning. But what was I saying there? The point I wanted to make is, I got a little bit sidetracked there. Yeah, now I remember. Feeling based in the moment will help us have more compassion and love for others. It could be a child having a tantrum, or having an emotional time, or it could be a human, an adult human, suffering or in their pain body or their ego, or have an argument with a person, or somebody could just like injustifiably like give out to us or be unfriendly to us. And in the past I just lash out and react, but now I'm learning to practice the overall living in a state of compassion, feeling wise. I suppose that's the main way of putting it, and care and kindness and being an earth angel is my intention, and it's sort of the result as well. It's my intention to live intentionally by the day, by the moment. My intention is to be a healing, like an earth angel. So when I live in the moment, in the feeling base, with an intention, when there's a challenge or trouble, I can respond from my heart and heal and uplift and empower. Way less trouble is caused, and far more healing happens faster, and it's a nice day as a result, much more. There's a quotation, the longest journey is from the head to the heart, and it's kind of true. It's in very deep, big ways. From the longest journey is from the head to the heart. And when we get there more and we live in a feeling state, I realize, and you can realize, that love is the answer. And love is what I'm talking about a minute ago. Makes life 10 times nicer and 10 times easier, and heals, soothes, and brings people together. It heals your heart and frees your spirit. It lets you go of the chain of the heavy block that weighs you down in your own vibration, even if you don't even spend time with anybody. When we heal ourselves, make the journey to our heart, live in a feeling energy more, drop excessive thinking, especially from hurt and ego and pain, and live intentionally. With compassion, wanting to create beautiful things from our spirit while alive in the physical. No, we also then know love is the answer. And it's simple instead of complicated with our head. So that's what it's all about, my friends. It's helped me so much. So I'm gonna go, but I wish you all the best, truly. And I want to share with you some of my creations coming up are my books about this topic and more. Heal your life, heal your relationship, heal your ancestry, heal yourself, heal your family, and other books and some video course on this topic I'm coming up. Okay, so it's going to be beautiful, and I'm looking forward to doing that at the right time. And I'm just going to live in the moment and wait for the impulses to drop to me to finish all of this off, one drop at a time. And I thank you all for your love and support, your care and your kindness, including everyone who gave me love and support and wisdom and kindness on Facebook especially. I got hundreds of messages and comments, especially comments, but some messages too. People wanting to help me and care for me and living from their heart after my mum had passed. And it really helped me because I was going through it was kind of hard. It was tough, I was going through a bit of a struggle there. It was upsetting. I'm not used to being down, and I didn't expect it to hit me, and it did, and it was tough. And me and my partner had arguments, and I was just touchy and angry and irritable and sad and down, and it just such a weird occasion. It really was a strange thing, especially being a full-time daddy and having a partner then you're just being touchy with, and then they're sort of maybe being just having arguments kind of a little bit here and there, or even a big one, and not my usual self. Thankfully that's passed. So I do caution you, be careful and try and get love and support if you're going through a hard time in life, struggling with anything, including grieving. And just be mindful not to project or lash it out too much on anyone close to you, those closest, because that's what can happen. And have total forgiveness for myself for that, by the way, because just nothing but compassion, nothing but love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals. I'll put the song in the description and the first pinned comment below. Enjoy. It's a beautiful song by Karen Drucker. I love her music so much. Thanks, my friends. Thanks for watching, and loads of love to you. Truly.